Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. My name is Professor Dr. Ghulam Rasul Book. Today I am going to discuss with you the most common problem, that is the malaria in children. Before start of the presentation or the lecture, I would like highlight the topics of the today. Number one, we can introduce a brief discussion regarding the introduction of malaria, then life cycle of malaria, clinical features, epidemiology, severe malaria, what is the relapse, what is the treatment of the complicated and uncomplicated malaria, chemoprophylaxis, and prevention. First introduction, epidemiology, life cycle, severe malaria, relapse, treatment of the complicated and uncomplicated malaria, and prevention. So, first of all, the introduction. The malaria is the common problem of the public problem of Pakistan. So, if you know every patient can present with a fever, should think about the malaria until proven. Malaria is a continuous, major public health prevention problem, particularly the severe form of malaria that is called the falciparum. Falciparum is the common serious problem of the malaria. So introduction, the malaria continuous major public health threat means severity in Pakistan and particularly due to the Plasmodium falciparum. Falciparum is the most common and severe form of the species of malaria. Others are the cause of malaria, but they are not so serious as falciparum. Malaria occurs mostly in the tropical countries. I will discuss with you. So, what is the definition of malaria? Malaria is an acute and chronic illness. Acute and chronic, they are present with the proximus of the fever. Fever can present with the chills, shivering. After the shivering, patient can develop the sweetness, fatigue, anemia. And when you do the examination of the children, you will find as a splenomegaly. This is the definition of malaria. What is the general concept of the malaria? You can say, if you look here, you will consideration there is a each year 300 to 500 millions cases of the malaria according to WHO reported, and more than 1 million deaths. The deaths are the most common caused by the falciparum, and the mostly the deaths occur in the infants and young children. Infants means children are under years and the children under are 5 years. So these are the most vulnerable age groups. They can cause malaria in a deaths and severe form. What are the tropical countries in which there is a common cause of the malaria? You can see the endemic areas in the red shadows is the more prone to develop the malaria like Africa, Asia, South America, and the South America both can be caused the malaria. Now, what are the causes and what are the species of the malaria which can cause the. So the most common species of the malaria, there are five species. Most the cause of the malaria is called as the female Anopheles mosquito. This is the common. And the five species, the most common, that is called the falciparum. This type of the falciparum can cause the severe and life-threatening malaria and the parasites are very common, and there is a many areas of the country worlds can be affected. So the species are number one is the falciparum, that is the most common, and second variety is the malaria, oval vivax, and lastly this is a new that I call as a consili. These are the known sili. These are the fifth variety of the malaria species. This is the pathogenesis of life cycle of the malaria. This is from the mosquito to human. So if you look here, stage one, the mosquito takes in the blood meals injectable through the spirochetes. They are go into the liver, and in the human livers they can stay and they can infect the liver. That liver comes as a schizont. This is called as a exoerythrocytic cycle, and these schizonts are ruptured and go into the blood of the patient or affected person. These immature trophozoites forms and they ultimately go into the gametes, and gametes ultimately go into the form of gametes, and ultimately when mosquito go and bite and go into the mosquito. Other variety, there is a mature trophozoites go into the schizont and rupture schizont, ultimately go into the immature, and this is the cycle that is called the exoerythrocyte cycle, which is common in the human. And the mosquito, that is called the spirogenic cycle, and this is also called as the exogenous, and they can be affected from the mosquito and ultimately oocytes and ultimately go into the mosquito state. So this is the cycle from the man to the mosquito, and they can cause the fever. The pathogenesis, this is the classical presentation of malaria. They can present in the body. They are present with the.
ज़्यादा
Please shut.
कर
Please, you are off your mic so you can understand.
सो जाता है इतनी
What are the pathogenesis? The most important pathogenesis occur during malaria. Number one is the fever, which is a high grade fever.
बच्चे दो ये दस नहीं आपको असर होना
Please, you are off your
ऑफ करो
mic should
चलिए
be
माइक
off,
ऑफ
please. Please, you should off mic. Please off your mic. If you are not switched
नंडी
off
साइज
off your, I will leave the lecture.
छोटा साइज छोटा साइज यहाँ पे है बड़ा साइज देखिए फिर भी आपको पसंद
If
आएगा
you are not supposed to stop your mic, I can leave the lecture. And also we have note your roll numbers. The who are the creating this problem. आप नहीं बंद करोगे तो मैं लेक्चर छोड़ के चला जाऊंगा, आपके नंबर नोट कर लेंगे. The pathogenesis, there are four important pathogenomic process, and they are important to see the children. They are present with the malaria. Number one, they are present with the fever. Fever pattern of the fever should you remember high grade fever with chills, and the patient has history of the endemic area. Number two, when you examine the baby, they are present with the severe anemia, and this can be present with the immunopathological event. They are present with a joint pain, and sometimes hypoxia to the tissue means patient can present with the tissue anoxia, lack of the oxygen. Why? Because the RBC are decreased. RBC have a function to carry the oxygen to the tissue. So that's why they are present with this. Now, What is the immunity to the malaria? It is the incomplete, severe disease averted, complete eradication or prevention, future infection is not achieved. So this is the problem. What is the resistance malaria? Usually you have been given this type of the questions in the Viva, in the SAQ, even BCQ. What is the resistance to the malaria? Erythrocyte containing hemoglobin S. These hemoglobinopathies, those patients who have a hemoglobin S, they are resistance parasite growth. Number two, erythrocyte lacking Duffy blood group. Those patients who have a Duffy lacking blood group antigen are resistant to Plasmodium vivax. The erythrocyte containing hemoglobin F means thalassemia. Erythrocyte containing hemoglobin F. आप अपना माइक म्यूट रखें प्लीज
वो
अपना
दे तो
माइक
बता ना
रखें
हाँ हाँ दो वारा मला तो वारा अंदर शंकर
एक्सक्यूज मी
हाँ चाहे जो
the resistance malaria also occur in the patients those who have hemoglobin F or hemoglobin ovulocytes. They are resistant to falciparum malaria. Please, you should remember these three words. Hemoglobin S can resist the malarial parasite growth. When there is a lack of Duffy blood group, they are antigen resistant to the Vivax. And if a patient who has a hemoglobin F and ovulocytes are resistant to falciparum. What are the clinical features? What are the incubation period? The falciparum have 14 days. Vivax is a 12 to 17 days. Oval is a 16 to 18 days. And Plasmodium malaria 14 days. Some patients have a prodromal symptoms. 3 to 4 days they are present with the headache, fatigue, anorexia, myalgia, and they are present with low-grade fever. Sometimes they are present in pain in the chest, abdomen, and joint pain. This is a vague presentation, usually difficult to diagnose malaria because this is the same presentation present with the viral infections. What are the clinical presentation of malaria? The malaria is proximus of the fever, means alternating to relative illness. The febrile fever, sometimes they are present with the high grade fever, rigors, sweating, chills. This is the classical presentation of a fever. But you should remember high grade fever, rigor, sweating, and chills can occur in the UTI if a female patients are present. Proximus occur after 48 hours in Vivax and the oval, after 72 hours with the Plasmodium malariae. And the Proximus less than apparent in the falciparum is a mixed infection. What is the malaria in children? How you can diagnose? Malaria in children occur when fever with a low grade or some you will feel as high grade. The children can present with headache, drowsiness, anorexia, vomiting, diarrhea, anemia, and when you do the examination of these babies, you will find as they are present with the severe type of the hepatosplenomegaly. So this is the classical presentation of a baby who are present with the malaria. Malaria in children, they are present with hepatosplenomegaly, anemia, vomiting, diarrhea, anorexia. But please remember, if you have a history of a baby who are present with the high grade fever, with shivering, with chills, should be think about malaria until proven. What is a black water fever? And why we say this is a black water fever? So number one, severe malaria. If caused by the Plasmodium falciparum, it is a medical emergency. because this is a heavy parasitemia in the blood, and patient can present with the unconsciousness, seizures, irregular respiration, hypotension, hypoglycemia, and metabolic acidosis. This is the classical presentation of a child who is present with the ER. This is called the severe malaria. Severe malaria caused by the Plasmodium falciparum. Number one. Number two, it is a medical emergency. If you are not treating this type of the malaria, patient can be die within hours. So this is a medical emergency. Number two, why this medical emergency? Because there is a heavy parasitemia. They can cause the immature and mature RBC are affected. These patients are unconscious. Why? Because these heavy parasitemia can go into the blood, and after they go in the blood in the brain, and they can cause the vessels become thick, and there is a hyperviscosity due to the heavy parasitemia, and there is a anoxia. So patient can present with the unconsciousness, and there is a ischemia in the brain due to the heavy parasitemia. So patient can present with the seizures, irregular breathing, respiratory problem, hypotension, hypoglycemia, and the metabolic acidosis. Because you know the irregular, why this patient can present with the irregular respiration? Yes, question answer is that because the medulla oblongata in the brain, which can control the respiratory system, and when they are affected due to the heavy parasitemia, and there is a patient can present with the irregular breathing, not acidotic breathing, not apnea, but irregular breathing, not fast breathing. These patients go into the shock. They are present with the hypotension, hypoglycemia, and when you do the blood ABGs, means blood gases, जब आप कराते हो तो you will find the metabolic acidosis. These children are present with this. So this is called as the severe malaria caused by the falciparum. Now, what is the black water fever? Black means black is colored. Water, why we call this? And which parasite can cause this type of the malaria? That is called the black water fever. So this condition, there is a massive intravascular hemolysis. You know the parasite of the falciparum cause this type of the malaria, that is called the black water fever. And this can cause intravascular hemolysis. Same to same, this is done in the brain. But what happens in here? This is the intravascular hemolysis occur in the kidney, and patient can pass the urine that is called the Coca-Cola color or the cola color urine. That is colored black urine is called, name is the black water fever. Which patients are more prone to this black water fever? The patient who have a G6PD deficiency. This is the enzyme present, and usually this is the X-linked disease occur in the male, but can occur in the female. This is a new mutation, or sometimes is a mosaic can cause, but usually common occur in the G6PD in the male. This is the drugs which are given to these patients like primaquine, sulfonamide or sulfonamide drugs. They can cause this hemolysis, intravascular massive hemolysis, and patient can pass the urine as a black. That's why we can say this is the black water fever. And irrespective of the malaria, if you can give this type of the drugs in the G6PD, without malaria, they can pass this type of the urine. So you should know when you prescribe these drugs, before prescribing the drugs, you should ask history regarding the G6PD. It is not mandatory a patient who is present with malaria can pass as a cola color urine, but you can use other irrespective of the malaria. Patient can pass urine as the black. Occasionally, when patient present with the G6PD have a malaria, receive quinine. Quinine dihydrochloride is usually given a patient who is present with the cerebral malaria, but can cause, if a patient have a G6PD, can cause cola color urine. In a patient with the severe form of the malaria caused by the falciparum, who have a normal erythrocyte G6PD level, irrespective of the treatment to the given this patient, they can cause as a G6PD. What is the algid malaria? Now this is the third definition. First we will discuss with you. एक हमने आपके साथ डिस्कस किया था severe malaria. Second time we will discuss with you the black water fever. And third category, what is the algid malaria? Algid malaria is characterized by the hemodynamic disorders. This is a condition in which you can say this is because the algid malaria is characterized by the hemodynamic disorders. What happens in the black water fever? When patient has a G6PD and you can give the anti-malarial like sulfo or pirmacone, patient can present with the cola color urine and caused by the falciparum. Okay. What is the algid malaria? Algid malaria is characterized by the hemodynamic disorder. Means patient is unstable by hemodynamically. They are present with a shock. And this shock is pronounced by the metabolic changes. And the patient can present with the hypothermia. What are the classical signs of the shock? Number one is the patient is hypothermic, cold extremities. Cold extremities are very cold, very thready pulse, and there is an unrecordable blood pressure, and patient can present tachycardia. So, algid malaria can cause by this presentation. The number of the factors are involved to develop the algid malaria. They are, number one is the pathological phenomena, that they are associated with changes in the state of red blood cells, lead to impaired microcirculation. What happens? They can cause the cytoadherence, sequestration, and the rating, and they can release tumor necrosis factor that is provoke the hypoglycemia. Why? Sometimes people ask in the Viva, why hypoglycemia occurs in children, those who are present with the malaria? Answer is that because of the tumor necrosis factors. Tumor necrosis factors that can cause the hypoglycemia. Coagulopathy and the impaired erythropoiesis. They can affect, erythropoiesis is a release from the kidney and they can be affected, so patient can impair this function. These children are present with the altered acid alkaline balance, so they are present with the development of the metabolic acidosis. What is the clinical presentation? This is a graphical presentation. You will appreciate number one is the fever. 98% of the malaria present with the fever. According to the WHO, a child who's febrile should think about the malaria until proven, because we are living in the endemic area. So first, a patient who's present with the fever, think about the malaria. Now, when you examine how many cases, 44%, they are present with the splenomegaly, because there is a hemolysis. When patient can present with the severe form malaria, and you can say cerebral malaria, they are present with the fits. 25% they are present with the hepatosplenomegaly. Anemia, round about 20% can present with the anemia, and patient can present with difficulty breathing. Breathing is very difficult. It's only about the 9% of the patient. Although a patient who have a cerebral malaria, they are present with the unconsciousness. They are present about the 6%. But the cerebral malaria caused by the falciparum. Falciparum is the most severe form of the malaria. Sometimes the children are present with the jaundice. Which type of the jaundice they are present with this malaria? The jaundice, I was already told you, intravascular hemolysis, means they are present with the unconjugated hyperbilirubinemia, not conjugated, because this is the peripheral destructions of the RBC. So in these children, sometimes they are present with the conjugated, sometimes you will get as a mixed picture. But the common presentation of malaria, jaundice, is present as unconjugated. This is the classical pictures you will appreciate a child who's present with the gross splenomegaly. This is the classical presentation. If a child who's present with high grade fever, chills, sweating, and splenomegaly with anemia, first you think about common causes of malaria. You are not going to diagnose as a thalassemia or leukemia or lymphoma. Why? Because the most common in our setup is a malaria. So first you know regarding the ammonia. इम्तिहान में आपको मलेरिया नहीं आए और आपको बोलें कि इसको ल्यूकीमिया है तो एग्जामिनर आपको फेल कर देगा क्योंकि फर्स्ट यू थिंक अबाउट मलेरिया बिकॉज मलेरिया इज अ कॉमन एज कंपेयर टू ल्यूकीमिया लिम्फोमा एक्सेट्रा. This is the classical presentation of severe malaria. And it is very difficult to differentiate a child who is present with the ER, fever, fits, unconsciousness. When you do the examination of these children, they are pale, severely anemic, and having the hepatosplenomegaly, and they are belongs to endemic area. So first you make a diagnosis of this child is a cerebral malaria. Now, what is the other differential diagnosis in these children you will be considered? Meningitis. Because these children can present with a fever and fits. But when you examine these babies, there is a no anemia and patient can have a no hepatosplenomegaly. So this is the second differential. What is the third differential diagnosis of these children? Should be encephalitis or meningoencephalitis will be considered as the third differential. When you get a history, there is a short history of these children. They are present with a fever, but without anemia and hepatosplenomegaly. When you do the examination of the skin of the gene, sometimes not necessary, but sometimes you will find there is a spots of the skin lesions. If there is a skin lesions in the lips or sometimes in the eyes, think about this type of the encephalitis and caused by the herpes. So please, this is the classical clinical presentation of malaria who are present in the ER. What is recurrence? Recurrence occur with the Plasmodium vivax and ovale by release of the merozyte from the liver. These merozytes live in the liver in many months. Sometimes people say malaria is remain persistent in the liver into up to the 6 to 1 year. So this is the classical recurrence of the malaria because they can stay in the liver. So Plasmodium vivax and ovale, they can cause release merozyte and there is a recurrence, but Plasmodium malariae also cause the persistent parasite in erythrocytes. What is the congenital malaria? These are definitions. Congenital malaria acquired in the prenatally and perinatally. What are the signs and symptoms? Most commonly occur in the first 30 days. When you say congenital malaria, what are the symptoms? Patient can present with the fever. Patient can present with the pallor due to the anemia, jaundice, poor feeding, vomiting, diarrhea, cyanosis, and hepatosplenomegaly. So, when the patient belongs to endemic area, and in these neonates, if a baby is under 10 days, under 1 month, it is very difficult to differentiate from the septicemia, from the torch infection, from the congenital leukemia, how even in the sepsis. What are the presentation of sepsis? Patient can present with the fever. Patient can present cyanosis. Patient can present hepatosplenomegaly. Patient can present with the fever and pallor, even in the jaundice. So, in these children, you make a differential diagnosis of the sepsis, torch infections, congenital leukemia, even congenital malaria. So, congenital malaria diagnosis is a difficult dilemma. Why? Because this is the same presentation as a septicemia. When you have a history of this child regarding the parents, they are belongs to endemic area and they have a history of the family, any patient who have history or mother have a malaria proven. So you can think about the congenital malaria. Please remember, congenital malaria should be say when a child who's present less than 30 days, means less than 2 months. Even congenital malaria should be considered less than 6 months of the age. Now, third category now, after the clinical presentation, what is the diagnosis? Diagnosis, the gold standard of the diagnosis malaria is a malarial MP, malarial parasite. They can do thick and thin film. So please remember, in the thick film, the large number of the erythrocyte and thin film, you will differentiate the species. कौन सा इसमें species है? Now people are doing as a monoclonal antibody, that is called the immunochromatography, and this is the rapid test, and you can perform without microscope and you will see the antibodies. Now PCR, because this is the custody, so usually not done every patient, but you can do the rapid test, that is called the monoclonal antibodies. This is the pathological presentation of malaria, who's seen by the slides. You will appreciate these are the RBC in the your left side, and you will see this is the small blue coloration, and that is the Plasmodium falciparum. What is the differential diagnosis? I have already told you this, the differential diagnosis. It depends upon the condition. Viral infection of a patient present with the diarrhea and unconscious vomiting, acute gastroenteritis should be considered. Meningitis, encephalitis, typhoid fever, enteric also be considered. No doubt tuberculosis not usually present with the hepatosplenomegaly, but disseminated tuberculosis will be considered. UTI, urinary tract infections, they are present with the fever. They are present with the unconsciousness. Sometimes they are present with cola color urine. And third category, they are present malignancies like leukemia, lymphoma, and very rare you will consider congenital vascular diseases. How will you manage? Management is divided into two components. Number one is a supportive and second is a specific. Supportive, a patient is a febrile. You will advise by the paracetamol 10 to 15 milligram per kilogram in divided doses. If a patient is unconscious, pass IV line fluids, NG for feeding purpose. If a patient develops the seizures, you advise for the anti-convulsant drugs like diazepam to control the seizure. Suppose a patient is gasping and patient is not taking respiration, so you can put patient on the ventilator support. And if you think about there is a heavy parasitemia and patient can present with the renal problem and acute renal shutdown. So in these children, you can advise by the dialysis. What are the specific? Chloroquine is the old name. Now people are using quinine in the cerebral malaria. Artesunum is also people are using mefloquine and pemaquine. These are the drugs you should know about. These are the uses. Okay, what are the complications? Most complication that is called cerebral malaria. This is caused by the falciparum. Renal failure, acute renal shutdown, pulmonary edema, hypoglycemia, thrombocytopenia, splenic rupture, algid malaria, and impaired the education effect of the children. So these are the complication of malaria, but this is the severe form of malaria and caused by the falciparum. Usually these complications occur with the falciparum malaria. How to prevent? How to prevent? Prevention is better than the treatment. So remain well screened area from dusk to the town. Sleep under, and you can use as a pre-methrin. Mosfil should be used to treat, and nets should be advised to the parents. Spray for the insecticides indoor at the sunburn. Wear the clothes that cover arm, legs, trousers, shoes. Okay, so this is the last slides, and this is the prevention. Prevention, I will describe the, you can use sometimes your chemoprophylaxis should be given 1 to 2 weeks before to enter in the endemic area and continuous up to 4 weeks of life. And I think this is the last slide. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any query or questions, you can ask me.
Sir,
Yes.
जी sir, what is Duffy blood group?
This is the type of the blood groups. This is the very rare blood groups in the bloods, and they are present. This is the minor blood groups. Is the name of Duffy, and you will read in the pathology or physiology the types of the blood groups. And this is a very rare. सबको नहीं होता है, लेकिन ये कम होते हैं. तो आरबीसी को क्या चाहिए? इसको जो पैरासाइट है ना, मॉस्किटो, उसको आरबीसी चाहिए नॉर्मल. जो भी एब नॉर्मल होगा उसको अटैक नहीं करेगा. That's why they are not present in the sickle cell, thalassemia, because there is a fetal hemoglobin chains are not developed.